The atheist doesn't seem to understand the argument, but the Christians don't seem to know the answers in the debate. To be sure, the answers are actually terrifying, and that's why most Christians prefer false gospels to the real one. It's not good news for your time here on earth if you have in your mind to do something other than what Jesus said to do. Gird up your loins and quit yourselves like men. Here is the truth, and it is contrary to your delusions. First of all, is God a murdering tyrant? If you step on an ant, are they going to haul you into court and charge you with murder? And yet the disparity between God and men is greater than that of men to ants. If God became a man and tried to conquer the world with violence, then yes. But wait, didn't King David do exactly that in the land of Canaan? Yeah, and then God told him, you can't build my temple, you're a man of violence. The irony escapes you all, I guess. God is not a man any more than a man is an ant. We all know there's levels to morality, otherwise you'd have put me in jail for eating my lunch. Don't be ridiculous. But the claim is that God did manifest in the flesh as a man. Yeah, and what did he do? He healed the sick and the crippled. He cast out demons, freed the oppressed. Did he conquer the world with violence? No. Though he did say, I don't bring peace but a sword. I'm going to divide you all against yourselves, and here we are. He was right. How much more than that? Nah, he let the violence be done to him. He didn't pay any of it back. He suffered it all. And so let's talk about suffering real quick. Think for me, if you can, of just one example anywhere where increase is gotten, where gain is gotten without suffering. Knowing that in every case, just by nature itself, just by the laws of physics, the rules here. No pain, no gain is the observable rule on all levels. Even if it becomes figurative on some levels, by much suffering do we accomplish anything at all. So God has said, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. And the Christians gasp, oh no, God creates evil, but evil just means calamity and violence, yes. Evil means calamity and violence. When men do it, it is evil. When it happens to men, it is evil happening. Evil does mean calamity, and violence falls under that. Matter of fact, wickedness is disregarding what God has said so that you can disregard how your actions affect everyone around you so that you can do what you want instead, regardless of the consequences. That's wickedness, ignoring the natural order of things here and disrupting it for your own pleasure. How about that? There is a natural and observable order to all things. I put natural in quotations because science has defined everything as physical, no matter where it is or what it is. We understand that the nature of physicality on the quantum level differs greatly from the nature of physicality on the classical level here. This much we can concede. We understand that the stars have a different nature to their physicality than men do, but we're going to call it all physical, and so, according to our definitions from science, heaven is physical, the earth is physical, and the little squiggly nothing waves that build up everything we can see and know, well, they're physical too. No, you can't touch them. No, they don't have any size. Physicals are a loosey-goosey word, ain't it? Means everything, doesn't it? While acknowledging differing levels of physicality. Oh. See, when the Bible says natural, it means things on the earth, but when science says natural, it means everything. In heaven, or on earth, or under the earth, they call it all physical. And if that's how we're going to define it, there's no need for the supernatural at all. It's all natural according to that specific definition. For instance, the coherent magnetic field of the Milky Way galaxy, it's defined as physical. It can clearly be shown to spin, but it's not physical like a ball. It's not spinning like one either. It's got a different nature than a ball does. Balls are a physical thing on Earth. And though a star might be in the shape of a sphere, it's not a ball, though it is described that way. A star varies greatly from a basketball on Earth, I assure you. They can be compared because they are relative structures, even if they're not the same thing. The same laws of physics are organizing both of the structures according to the rules, based on how big they are and how much they weigh. So comparatively, when God says he creates the evil to make the peace, this is the exact same thing as the gardener saying, I'm going to till the soil and start my garden. Relative morality, nobody gets mad at the blacksmith that he fires up the forge first. No one accuses him that he burns up a whole bunch of charcoal, which used to be wood, or propane, whatever, something's burning. He's burning it, but not just to have the fire for no reason. Well, fires burn people. Yep, they do. They also get the iron hot enough that you can turn it into carbon steel. Oh, if a blacksmith wants to forge swords, he has to start the fire first. If God wants to form the light, he's got to create the darkness first. Otherwise, what is light? God creates the darkness first, forms the light in it, then divides the light from it. Science calls this recombination. Knowing that suffering is required to get gain, there is no problem of suffering. That's a natural part of the equation. To increase. Why would an all-loving God allow suffering? The same reason a basketball coach makes his players run. The suffering brings the increase, and if he really loves you, he wants you to increase. That's what you're here for. If you don't increase, calamity for you. God does not want that for anyone. He wants you to increase and to succeed. There is no problem of free will. Men do not have it. God alone is sovereign. God alone has free will without consequence. There isn't anyone to put charges on him. The claim here is he alone is God. He will work, and who will let it? Get out of here. So real quick, if children suffer and die for the sins of their parents, why does God give kids cancer? He doesn't. Humans create the conditions for cancer via their own sin. We prefer convenience rather than suffering, and so we destroy our environment and ignore the consequences in the future and live how we choose. Men do not have free will. Men have volition, a choice in every situation. Will we obey God, or at the very least stick to the natural order? Or will we have it our way, mess around and find out? You can't tell me we don't keep messing around and finding out we do. You ever heard of asbestos? I mean, that's just one out of a million examples to what I'm saying is true. We already know artificial intelligence is one of the most catastrophic things we could have ever done, and yet we're doing it. Convenience in the moment. We don't want to suffer discipline. We want to suffer regret with our volition. 'Cause we can! Till it falls on our children's heads, and then we curse God for what he did. What? Set up the natural order of things, and we won't abide by it, and that's his fault? Why? But the children are innocent. Yes, that's why they go to heaven. It is a tragedy for us that our children suffer, or that we suffer at all. Who wants that? Nobody. The sins of the father are carried down to the third and fourth generation. But we don't say, let us consider how we act today for the sake of our great-grandchildren. Who are they to us? The best case scenario, according to the Bible, is dying in the womb before you ever see the first day of evil under this sun, on this earth. A child is not guilty until he becomes a man, and yet he suffers the actions of our forefathers either way. And that's up to God, who has to run the full course and who gets to graduate early. We are hurt anytime we experience loss because we are short-sighted, and loss never feels good. And God forbid, I don't want to suffer any either. But I can tell you that all of my increase has come from suffering here on this earth, and I have had much, over much. And I probably won't live to be 80, and people will say, what a tragedy, he didn't make it that far. Not for me, sillies. I'm only here as long as I have to be. Suffering is terrible until it ends and you get the fruit of it, and then it's wonderful. All by the natural, observable order of all things. You can suffer discipline and do what's necessary, or you can suffer the consequences of not. And there's not a single thing in nature that doesn't directly agree with the gospel of Jesus Christ, or tell that story directly. What story does the coherent magnetic field of the Milky Way galaxy tell us? It's a simple mathematical equation. Except a kernel of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abides alone. But if it dies, it brings forth much fruit. How did I get all that from that right there? Well, that's much more than just a 2D graphic. That's only just how it's represented right here. There it is right there. Without a doubt, that's how acorns become oak trees. That's spring, summer, fall, and winter. Notice that it's a yin-yang. This is the same picture as this right here. It's a 3D representation of that 2D phenomenon. The galaxy would be the inertial plane here in the middle of the toroidal field. The yin-yang represents the light being separated from the darkness, which is what everything in the universe can be shown to be doing. Organizing the information, time favoring both stability and complexity. Complexity builds. A man is a far more complex structure than a black hole or a star, even though he's much smaller. That's why he arrived last, regardless of what book you're reading. Oh! The Bible is logic and reason itself, even if Christians are poor at explaining it. With our dirt mouths and tongues. They're made of dirt. Our brains are made of dirt. You don't have to take my word for it. Everything I'm saying is observable in reality. It's the rules everywhere. Nobody wants to study and do their homework, but everybody wants a PhD. You want big muscles? Go suffer in the gym. If a sperm cell wants to be born as a human, he's got to dedicate his whole life to swimming into the egg. Discipline, hard work, dedication. To the rules. Everything else is fodder. What else can it be? fire to forge the sword. You can be what you want. Choose wisely.